Now, a leading Libyan official has flown to Athens, apparently bearing a message from Colonel Gaddafi. He's expected to meet the Greek Prime Minister later tonight, amid reports of various efforts to find a diplomatic solution to the conflict. In eastern Libya itself, however, fighting between rebels and Colonel Gaddafi's forces has continued around the oil town of Brega. While to the west, reports say Colonel Gaddafi's forces have bombarded the besieged town of Misrata. Government shelling has also been reported in Zintan and the small town of Yafran. From Tripoli, our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Rugman reports.
It's just 130 miles east of Tripoli and it's a war zone. Misrata is a city under intense bombardment. The town's hospital is overwhelmed with dozens of injured. A doctor here told us one person had been killed by government shelling today. The death toll is believed to be 160 in the past week alone. The corridors are so packed, an emergency room has been set up in a tent in the hospital car park. NATO airstrikes apparently failing to ease the misery in Libya's third largest city. This is the rebels' front line in Libya's east. What they said were their best troops were today trying to recapture the town of Brega and end the military stalemate. With no clear victory in the offing, it's believed that Saif al-Islam, one of Colonel Gaddafi's sons, is proposing a diplomatic solution, a transition to democracy under Saif's leadership, though there's no sign the rebels or Gaddafi himself would accept it. And this senior Libyan diplomat, Abdul Ati al-Abedi, has flown to Athens tonight with a message for the Greek Prime Minister from Colonel Gaddafi himself. We're trying to find a mutual solution, Mr. al-Obeidi told me on Friday. We're trying to talk to the British, the French and the Americans to stop the killing of people. In Tripoli itself, any semblance of normality is punctured by the size of the petrol queues. The war over the oil towns out east, provoking drastic shortages here. All is not calm around Colonel Gaddafi's compound either. Nearby residents claim there's been heavy gunfire at night and blood on the streets, though no one is quite sure why. After dark, we were allowed inside Gaddafi's nerve centre, walking across the grass on top of his underground bunker to meet hundreds of his fanatical supporters, acting as human shields to ward off airstrikes. He is our father, they sang. We will give our souls for him. Colonel Gaddafi hasn't been seen in more than a week, and he didn't make a speech here at his compound tonight. But government minders seem to have brought us here to show us that the Gaddafi personality cult is still very much alive. These pictures of Zawiya, close to the capital, tell a different story. It was shelled into submission over 3 weeks ago. But residents in nearby Zintan and Yafran say Gaddafi's men have attacked their towns today. Libya's Western rebellion, though rarely reported, apparently isn't over yet. Jonathan Rugman, Channel 4 News, Tripoli.